All month long, we've been playing with practices that engage the different elements of nature: ground, sky, water. Today, we're turning our attention to the element of fire. There's a story in the Bible you may have heard of where Moses encounters a burning bush in the desert. We're going to look at that story today, but rather than simply reading it as detached observers, we're going to take some time to actually imagine ourselves into the scene, both hoping to catch a better glimpse of what might have been going on between God and Moses in that moment, but also to maybe catch a better glimpse of whatever might be going on between us and God these days. So, settle into a comfortable position if you can. Maybe shake out any tension that you're holding in your body. Feel your feet on the ground. Try to let your shoulders relax. Just take a deep breath or two. And then close your eyes. And try to picture a desert landscape in your mind. What can you see surrounding you? Is the landscape flat as far as the eye can see, or is there some contour to the earth? Are there maybe mountains there in the distance? A desert bush here or there? Can you feel the heat of the sun beating down? You feel the dryness in the air. Is there a gentle breeze blowing, or is the air more stagnant and hot? What does it feel like on your skin? As you look down at your feet, what kind of footwear do you have on? Sandals, flip-flops, running shoes? What does the ground look like beneath your feet? The desert floor there. This is familiar ground to Moses. He spends all day, every day out here in the middle of the wilderness tending to the sheep. This was his office, his classroom, his kitchen floor. This is the ground of his everyday life. Can you imagine you are literally in Moses' shoes, standing there out on the desert plain, just going about your day, when suddenly you notice something flickering brightly out of the corner of your eye? You turn to look. Not more than 20 feet away, a bush is blazing on fire. But there's something odd about this fire. Flames are engulfing the entire plant, dancing wildly on and around every branch. And yet the branches aren't burning up. They're just holding the fire. Moses feels the pull of the mysterious and decides to step closer. What about you? Does the power of the fire draw you in, or does fear of this strange phenomenon push you away? Will you step closer or back up? You get to choose. Out of the fiery bush, God speaks to Moses. We don't know exactly what this was. An audible voice, thoughts in his mind, a knowing in his gut. God speaks in all kinds of ways. Right now, in this moment, God speaks to you and says, "Take off your shoes, love, because this ground that you are standing on is holy." Can you feel that? The everyday ground of your everyday life is holy space, illuminated now by the fiery presence of Spirit. Do you take your shoes off? Do you surrender any and everything that feels like it's standing in the way between you and that warm, all-consuming, fiery presence of God? I mean, there is nothing standing in the way, actually, but we get thinking that there is. Maybe God invites Moses to take off his shoes simply so that he can be reminded there is no barrier between the holy ground of you and me. Are there any shoes that you need to kick off to be reminded of that these days? Any fear? Any hopelessness? Any lies of not being enough, of being forgotten? You are not forgotten. God's love is right here. His eyes are on you from right inside those flames. So what do you need to kick off right now to feel more in tune with that fierce love? God and Moses then have a conversation. God is inviting Moses into a brand new journey of freedom, something beyond what Moses has ever imagined. Moses tells God about his fears and uncertainties. They talk it out. That's a conversation between Moses and God. What's the conversation between you and God? As you stand there barefoot on the dry, cracked, holy ground of your life, by the fire that warms your soul, as that presence wraps around you the goodness that is all light with no shadow, what's stirring in the fire of your soul? Is there a journey of new life that God is inviting you on? Where are you longing to be set free? Take one more moment to listen and just talk it out with God in the quiet of your heart. God, we invite the fire of your presence and love to consume our lives, burning ever brighter, never burning up. May we hear and respond to the invitation to intimacy. Would you draw close to us, God, and show us how to draw close to you? One holy ground, life and moment and minute at a time. Amen.